Hi everybody, Matt here from Matt Likes Comics. Today I'm going to do my part 2 of what I got at Ottawa Comiccon haul videos. So as we saw from the first part of the video, I got quite a bit of Silver Age Superman adventure type books. Well, most of the books in this pile are not. And I sort of separated things like that on purpose. Now, I have been asked, where the heck do I get all my information? I know a lot of information that, not everybody does. And the answer is simple when it comes to the DC Comics universe. And it's the same type of answer when it comes to Marvel Comics, because I do have issues of their version of this. This is Who's Who, issue number 6. Who's Who in the DC Universe. And it is reading the story, reading the articles, and looking at the pictures of these types of books, why I know so much about characters and even ones that don't make a lot of appearances. Because these kind of books have their first appearance listed, they have pictures of them, major storylines, and they tend to give the Marvel more than DC tend to give the Marvel equivalent was the official handbook of the Marvel universe, or as we used to call it as kids, Ohatmu. It was that one in particular. That one is even more detailed. Marvel really detailed themselves with their books. These guys concentrate a little more on art, so the articles are a little smaller and the pictures are a little bigger. But if you want to know what your characters were like and stuff, these kind of books, they're dirt cheap. You can usually find them in dollar bins. And the knowledge that you can get just by reading, one or two of them. Like, for example, this one covers characters and places like, starts with the Daily Planet and it goes to Dr. Polaris, which means you get characters like Dr. Alchemy. You get Dial H for Hero, Desaad, um, Deadshot, Deadman, Dawnstar, Darkseid, all in this book, and you get to see where their first appearances were and what they're doing in the universe. Plus, as much as possible, DC anyway, tried to get the artists that were either was most famous for the character or the artist that was currently writing the book to do the art of each particular one. Although there are a couple of books where Dave Stevens was brought in. Those are sought after ones of Thus Who. But I digress. Next up here, we have Avengers 276. And the next one, as a Canadian, but more because a lot of people in the world have seen these guys. This one I'm looking forward to reading because I'm a fan. This is the Trailer Park Boys Get Up Beep comic book. There were 2 Trailer Park Boys books only. And I didn't know that at the time because the second one was also available with this first one. And I wish I had known that at the time because I would have bought the second one just because the completionist in me screams to do that. But I ended up not doing it. So now I know, but I know who the vendor is that had it, and I know where they usually are. I see them at the monthly show, so I would probably get that second one if it's still available. Next up, I have Ghost Rider 9 from the 2022 series. This is the Peach Momoko variant. I think it was a fantastic cover, and for me, this was a pure cover buy. I saw this in a dollar bin, but I just like the cover a lot. Next up, something that I've been looking for a while, but it's never been at the top of my list. But when I saw it, I had to get it. This is the unauthorized biography of Lex Luthor. This is the one that gives us full origin in post-crisis history. where they change him from ruthless scientist to ruthless businessman. Everybody knows, of course, ruthless means I don't have a Ruth. Maybe if we got him a Ruth, he would have been a good boy, right? Next book is Amazing Spider-Man 22 from the current run. And again, just a pure cover buy. I really like that cover. Sort of gives me a throwback to 70s horror. And as a result, I thought it was pretty cool. Next up, I've got Something That's Killing the Children, number 25. I found it in a dollar bin. Anytime I can get a Something Is Killing the Children book for less than $5 or $5 or less, I'd grab it. I'm not the biggest fan of the series, but it's not bad. Like it's not terrible. And I may read it. I'll probably read it once, put it in with the other 5 issues I've got, and leave it there until someday I decide, hey, I got to put some books together and maybe make a trade, and that's what I will do. This is the only gold key book that I bought this time. Normally I buy a lot of gold key, but because of the dealers that I saw differently this time don't actually carry much past the superhero and horror, I didn't get a lot of gold key. This is Tweety and Sylvester 45. I am becoming a bit of a gold key fan. The Donald Duck and Daffy videos that I did earlier really sort of kicked me into gear about, you know what, that stuff is fun. Here are 2 books that I was really glad to get. There are only 8 books in the original Son of Satan series. I only had number 1, and they are hard to find in any condition. I have been looking for them for a while. I was able to get issue 5 and issue 7. And I got them from a local guy who I'm surprised he only just got them and put them in. And he says that whenever Son of Satan comes up, people buy them up fast. And that's because he's like, as he said, he put them in Friday before the show. And there I was, I bought them Sunday. They didn't last the show. So I'm just happy to get my hands on them because I really, really like Son of Satan, and it's been years since I've read some of it. I did a blog a long time ago, and I did a blog on the Son of Satan, and that was the last time I had sat and read a few of his books, and so rediscovering them again is making me very happy, and I would like for everybody out there to read it as well. Next up, I have another issue, that Who's Who. I bought the one with Batman in it. This was issue 2. And you'll note there's 2 Batmans because there's one is Earth 1 and one is Earth 2. So it's also had Black Canary, Black Condor. Now, the next little bit I'm going to show is a few World's Finest comics. As I said, I mean, I know the DC, but you know what? I love DC. And I want you to love DC. I want everyone to love everything in comics. It's a tall order, but that's what I want to do. This is $2.98, and this actually completed a run of 15 books for me. I love having books, and this one is from the same run, but I bought it earlier in the day, and that's why that one is the complete. This is a Canadian price variant of $2.96. I particularly like the Batman on the cover. Here we've got World's Finest 240. Yet another issue where Superman is, sitting on a throne. I honestly think that Superman sat on more thrones than Queen Elizabeth. The next three books I am excited to show because I don't know if people have all watched it or not, but I did a video about Wonder Woman and in the Bronze Age where they were using the World War II Wonder Woman. Well, I got three books from that run that I didn't have, and I'm really looking forward to reading these. This is 236, and the best part about this, I got them each for $2 each. This is 243, which is the last book. As you can see, the Earth One Wonder Woman is coming back, and I got 234, which is really cool because Wonder Woman is floating, and you got a U-boat captain there ready to shoot her. I particularly like that. As always, they paid attention to the detail, and the captain of the U-boat has a Luger pistol. Next up, some Bronze Age horror. I managed to get my hands on 3 issues of The Witching Hour, issues 76, 77, and 78. This one is my favorite cover of the 3 because I just like the melting face. It brings back some pre-code horror stuff, like, for example, the face, that guy who had the radium capsule um, cover. Um, Whenever they throw back to earlier eras like that, I think that's great. And I mean, it doesn't, as you can see, like, it's a throwback in a way, and it's not even a DC comic. And the fact that, if you look, this takes place during the Second World War because the guy's got a swastika on. It's another period piece, and it's always great to see those kinds of books. The next 3 books are Batman books. Now, they're not in the greatest of shape, but I subscribe to the theory that low grade is better than no grade. And anytime I can get my hands on Bronze Age Batman, I go for it because high grade copies are so expensive. And I would rather spend my money on expensive comics in the Superman family. But I love to read Batman. This one has Catwoman in it. This is Batman 266. I really like the cover. My father was a professional psychic and had a crystal ball, so it's very nice to see these kinds of. By the way, my dad's background is one of the reasons why I like the supernatural so much, because it was a way of life. Next up, we've got Batman 274, another great cover. We've got the antagonist using her nails, and she rips the Batman costume, and Batman is sort of thrown off by it. And here, yet another good cover. Batman swinging down in front of a clock is Batman 280. Um, I I would say that Batman the 200s, the entire 200 run, from Batman 200 to Batman 300, was his best detecting era, and so anytime I can get a book from that era, it doesn't matter. I get it. There were some horror detectings, and when I say that era too, I do include Detective Comics because the stories there were even more detective based. The more surreal, superhero-y type stuff was done in Batman, where they actually stuck to the theme and did the detective stories in Detective a lot. Next up is another Jimmy Olsen story, and it's issue 156. It's getting close to the end of the run. Mr. Action here, acting like he doesn't really need his pal. Come on, everyone needs a super person in their life. I need a Supergirl. The next little batch are Batman Confidentials. I really want to finish this series because there's only 54 books to it, and again, it's more of a Legends of the Dark Knight type series. I like Batman stories. I mean, if okay, if I could spend all day just reading Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman, I would consider wow, that's a great day. But then again, I think about that about all comics. So really, this is issue 3, issue 4, issue 42. They're in no particular order. Issue 28. And it's a cool cover with the Riddler. Issue 18. What? This is a nice Catwoman cover. And issue 20. What I like about this is, as I said, this is earlier in Batman's career. So they're in this particular series, and this series came out before they restored Barbara Gordon's legs. So it was nice to see Barbara Gordon come back a little bit before, and this is number 21, before they went to the back, making her be able to walk again, and bringing back her as Batgirl, as they did in the New 52. Next up, Marvel 2-in-1 43. This is by far one of my favorite team ups in here. I read this years ago, and I'm glad to finally get a copy. The Thing and Man-Thing make a very interesting team. Read this book. Next up, I just have a few Justice League of Americas that I picked up from the early, I guess, the mid-2000s run. They're just 11 through 14. They continue the run, like they're holes. And they're dollar books. You can't argue with dollar books. And we're getting close to the end now. There's only this left. I did pick up a story by Wonder Woman that I was looking for a while, because Wonder Woman teams up with a bunch of the other female heroes from the DC universe. I've never read these, but I knew the existence of them for a while, and I really wanted to get my hands on them. So they were actually on my want list for the weekend. There we go. That's $2.93. And that's the last book of the series. My favorite cover of them is number 2, because you've got Supergirl punching somebody else, Wonder Woman running. You've got Power Girl and the Huntress in the background. And you've got Phantom Lady in the tiny corner there. This goes across worlds. Okay, this isn't just, an Earth 1 story. So it's really, really fun. I'm really looking forward to reading it. And this, because it was $2, Wonder Woman 294. It's the follow up right after that series line, which again filled a hole in a run. Now, my last 4 books. 2 of them are Marvel Spotlights, and I got these from Nefarious Comics, Ryan, who has been on YouTube before. He used to go on, I think it was Nerdy Girls web channel. So if you check her out, you might be able to see him. He's an Ottawa local, but he travels all over Ontario and Montreal. So, and he goes to a lot of shows. So if you've been to Niagara Falls, or if you've been to Fan Expo, or Ottawa Comiccon, or Montreal Comiccon, you've seen him. He's got one heck. Every book that I've ever bought from him has been in better shape than he says. And judging by the looks on these ones, I'm probably going to be a little impressed. He says they're 2.5 to 3.5. Um, I would say these are more like fours. This is Marvel Spotlight 16, and this is Marvel Spotlight 19. Both great Son of Satan covers, both great Son of Satan stories. I read a collection back when I did as I said, I had one of the collections from Marvel Spotlight that I was flipping through, and it's great to see these stories again in actual floppy form. That is my favorite. Here, last two. This is Judge Dredd number 6. Again, pure cover by. He looks so scary. It's like, yeah, yeah, you hit me. Wait to see what I do to you next. Beautiful, beautiful cover. And the last floppy I got was Superman's Girlfriend, Lois Lane 136. It's another one of these Wonder Woman thinks that Superman's dating someone else and doesn't like her. This is the second last issue of Lois Lane before it was canceled and moved to Superman Family. So it's getting there. This particular book is in pretty good shape, and I paid $4 for it. So there you have it. What I got at Ottawa Comiccon. Please like, comment, and I mean it, comment on anything and subscribe, but comment below on any books you might like, you might have read, or you didn't like if you did read them. I'm good with that. This is a discussion channel. As long as we're all civil to each other, we can debate comics all day, and I'd be very happy to do so. I did get a couple of trade paperbacks at the show as well, including one that I got signed by Yannick Paquette, who's an artist from Montreal, who's he's done quite a bit of work. He's recently been doing the Power Girl covers, and I got to see the originals of the ones he's done. So he brought them to the show. So I found that very cool, and big fan of Yannick Paquette. So anyway, please like, subscribe, comment below, hit your bell for notifications if you are so inclined. I would be really appreciative. I really like my audience. I find you guys have been very good at letting me know what you like and what you don't like. And so I've been trying to adjust. I know that I've had some suggestions for videos, and I've done a couple videos based on suggestions by you guys. So I do listen. I read every comment, and I just want you to know that you are valued and appreciated very much by me. It's great to have you here. Anyway, my name is Matt, and I like comics, and I hope you do too. We'll see you soon.